This show is brought to you by DublinPodcast.ie. No? PodcastDublin.ie. What the fuck did you do? PodcastDublin.ie. DublinPodcast.ie. All my podcasts are brought to you, obviously, by DublinPodcast.ie. This show is brought to you by...
In my head, I was thinking he's going to say it again, isn't he?
Yeah. No. This show is brought to you by the amazing PodcastDublin.ie. Yup, that flats. Okay, so we're live. Welcome back to the Magic Minds podcast. I'm Matt Burke. You're watching and listening to the Liberty's #1 podcast. Yup, the Liberties, yup, the flats. On the show today, I'm joined by John Holden. John, what's the crack?
Nice to be here. Lovely to meet you, Matt.
It is absolutely fantastic to have you here. I'm excited, and this is going to be really, really cool. It's something I've never done before.
Good. Yeah, I hope so too. It's the first time I've done a podcast as well.
So you tell me you're a virgin?
I'm a virgin to the podcast. That's about at 45, that's as virginal as I get now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Me too. Guys, I've asked John to come on the show because John is a tarot card reader with years and years of experience. I love the work that he does. I follow on Instagram for a while now. And any of the messages that I've read where he puts up and he'll put daily messages, they've been very, very apt. They've been on point. And I feel personally that I have a good connection with him. And I don't know too many, I may be wrong, I don't know too many male tarot card readers out there. And I like the way he delivers his message. And so I've asked him to come along. So I'm delighted to be here.
So I'll start with, when I moved to Dublin back in 2000, I'd always had an interest in tarot as a child. Anything weird, you could definitely find me in it, where my brother was a little bit more, conventional with his skills and talents. I wanted to be delving into things I shouldn't have been delving into. But when I moved to Dublin, that's when kind of things really took off for me, and the interest. There was a lot more access to shops, and again, it was back in 2000, so like the Amazons and all that, they weren't really something I was into. So it was to find a shop where you could buy your cards and learn and stuff like that. So I got a deck of cards. I remember going to Eason's and thinking, okay, well, if they sell them here, I'm going to take it as a sign. Great believer in signs, serendipity, all that. So went in. Now, I had to go hunting for them because I wasn't leaving without them, but I found them and I found a book. And that was basically it from there. My dad, his party trick used to be reading just playing cards. So I had seen him doing that a few times and, liked the idea. I thought this, how could these cardboard kind of cards with pictures, and how could they tell a story? And that just fascinated me. So I spent a lot of time learning, reading. And then I took the plunge in about 2003 maybe. And I started doing readings where people would just, I set up my Facebook page and people would contact me to, do a party or something. And when I say the panic, anxiety and stress that used to set in when I'd get a text message saying, can you do a party in Tala, or can you, do readings in Clondalkin or whatever? Of course, I always said yes, but then I would be thinking about it for the week, and what if I get it wrong? What if nothing comes to me? And then the more I kind of relaxed into it, I always knew within the first couple of minutes of doing a party, whether, it was going the right way or not, or people were connecting. But I always just put myself out there as the vessel. So, so I'm only giving you what, the guides are giving me, or whoever you want to connect with is giving me. So when I kind of, take ego out of it, this is not John Holden, this is John connecting with the universe, this is the universe's message to you, then I really found my stride. So as you said, fast forward a little bit, I started, doing readings online then. And I remember thinking, okay, this is a new kind of medium for me to dabble into, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. And I remember thinking, okay, this could be quite handy. I still didn't really like it. I used to readings on the phone and in person, and then COVID hit. And then, I said, I need to be a little bit more clever. How can I connect with people? So I started doing readings on Zoom, Messenger, Instagram, Messenger and all that. And I love it. And I found that it brought me to a wider audience, first of all. And it let me connect with people who I suppose needed something at a particular time. So again, letting serendipity do its work, me crossing someone's path at a time when they needed something the most. And I know that's the oldest phrase in a tarot reader's book, someone's going to cross your path or all that, but literally that's how I work. And the diversity of people, here in Ireland, I've got like GA players, singers, actresses, actors in Ireland, fantastic, all that. But even, globally or further afield, talking to someone in Los Angeles at, say, 8 p.m. tonight and then 10 o'clock tomorrow morning talking to someone in Sydney. Wow. It's fantastic. I love what I do. And as I was saying earlier on to you before we started, the nerves can be horrendous. And even now, 20 odd years reading, that sense of nervousness still kicks in just before I make the call. And I'm thinking, oh God, what if I can't connect? What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't happen? And then, I have to talk myself off the ledge and then just begin. And those first couple of words, once I get into that kind of flow, it all just goes really nicely. I've been very fortunate when it comes to clients, the people I meet, all that stuff. It's been fantastic.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think you've been fortunate? What's favored you?
I think there's a couple of things. One, I never let tarot become me.
Oh, beautiful.
So it was never the most interesting thing about me, because I have a corporate job as well. Yikes. But the goal is eventually to try and make tarot my full-time job. I know I could do it. It's that kind of disconnect from, pension, bonus, all that. But, you have to work on your magic mind to get that sorted. But I feel I've been fortunate because when I needed to connect with the right kind of people, and what I mean by that is I learn from the people I read from as well. It would be very arrogant of me to think that I wouldn't. Whether I'm talking to someone who, just wants to know about their broken relationship, or someone who's looking to know should they read the script for a new movie or something. To me, they're both the very same. They both want the same thing, and I can learn from them. One, when it comes to connections with people, and two, when it comes to confidence about what it is you want to do and how you want to do it. And I just think, the universe has put really good people my way, particularly when it comes to learning. For example, I do Reiki as well. Yeah. There's Angel Haven Reiki in Salins, run by Caroline Murray. Did loads of things with her. Through her, then I met Angel Lorna Nolan.
Yeah. She's a pal of mine.
Is she?
Yeah.
No way. Well, I met her.
That's how I connected with you.
Oh no way. Well,
yeah. I do a lot of work up in CASP.
Oh, with
in the services that she does, to Clondalk and Addiction Service Program.
She's to me, there's something about Lorna that just stands out from the crowd, and I remember getting a reading from her once, and I'm thinking I would love to have the passion that she has when she's reading. There's a fluency that comes with her that I want to have, and I remember thinking, okay, well, I can do that too. And those two, and then there were others who again were big influences, people online, and I just feel that the connections that I've made. I always needed something when I connected with them. Sure. Like Caroline and Angel Haven and Salins, I had really bad confidence issues. And I remember her saying, look, leave it to me. I'll get you the readings. I'm thinking, yeah, but like only one or two. I don't want to be doing loads. And before I knew it, then she had a diary full. And I just remember my heart beating so loud in my chest, you could nearly see it coming through the shirt. Wow. And then I just kind of stood from there. But it's been very... I don't know, there's been all these hurdles that have been there as well, but I've seemed to overcome them, and I grow at every stage. But I definitely learn from the people who I meet, the people I read for, and I connect with. It's fantastic. And there is this kind of, there are some people that I read for who, for example, I was reading for someone in, I think it was Sydney. And as soon as they came on Zoom, like I said, sorry, did I read for you before? No, first time. I said, there's something really familiar about the energy or the connection. And, 5 minutes in, I was talking to them like they were my best friend. I'm thinking, why is this happening? And then the further you get in, very similar backgrounds, similar lifestyles, all that comes to the fore. I'm thinking, oh, we were probably connected in some way, some shape or form, centuries ago.
Nothing is by chance, is it?
No, nothing. And you really have to, that's what you have to let go of. And when I read for people, again, like there are many different kinds and styles of readers, and I appreciate and value them all. But I'll get on to something about that in a second. But I do feel that the type of people that are mostly drawn to me are the situation people. Like, what are my options? What is the perspective? How can I be objective? How can I look at things in a different way without letting emotion get in? Or, so there's always a bit of diving to do to get to the root cause or to get to the options, and I love that.
As you say in the Course in Miracles, we're never worried or stressed about the thing that's actually happening.
Exactly.
There's usually, as you said, there's a deeper dive. What I like about you, what I like about your work is that kind of that humbleness about you, the softness. I don't get ego from you. I don't get spiritual ego from you. That doesn't jump out from your work. It's very gentle.
Absolutely not.
And not all knowing. You don't come across like you know it. Like you've said to yourself, the cards are the cards.
Cards are the cards. I'm only reading them. The information is given to me. It's like before I start reading, I say kind of a few prayers and a bit of an incantation. But part of that is, please give me the highest form of intuition so I can interpret the cards in a way that benefits Matt or whoever. And so it's not me. Give me the insight, the knowledge. Open me up so I can see what's there. And come clean to them what needs to be said in a very tactile way. Another thing is, I'm not like I suppose a lot of people say, oh, none of your readings are very negative, and I'm thinking, well, there's a good way and a bad way to say something. I can still deliver negative news but in a positive way. So it's all about, okay, well, this is popping up here. Okay, so what next? So we don't wallow in the situation. We always look at, well, how do we deal with this, or how do we overcome it? So
it's only a problem the way that you viewed it.
Exactly.
It's a said problem. You can be an alchemist,
Oh yeah.
You can turn that said difficulty into gold.
And it's like, people underestimate the value of holistic and alternative things like tarot reading, Reiki, mindfulness, all those things. And together, if you set your mind, no pun intended, if you set your mind on something and you focus on it and you're diligent about following the steps, be it having a reading with me and, taking down the information, having a look, and then, getting a Reiki session, then working on meditation, you will find everything slots together. It's like a jigsaw. It's the whole package. So I do feel that, now with kind of self-love, look after yourself, mind yourself, exactly what you do. Yeah. I think it's very important. People need to prioritize, number one, because if you're prioritizing yourself and you're happy, by default, the people around you will be happy too. It
rubs off by osmosis. Just want to say one thing about Lorna thing. She speaks in regards to her cards and the readings and her work. She speaks with certainty. Oh, yeah. There's a clarity and there's a certainty. There's a conviction. There's a knowing. It doesn't appear like she's making stuff up.
No, and she's definitely the type of reader who that the message is coming to her at the time she's looking at the card. There's nothing predestined or nothing. I feel that she's very in tune with her guides, angels, whoever she's working with, that when the message needs to be delivered, she does it in a clear and succinct way. It just comes out. It's clarity. I love it. I think there's a lot of, if people haven't had a reading with Lauren, I do recommend it.
But I do, yeah. I haven't had a reading. I just know her, and she's been good to me, and she's helped me with working CASP, and she's just a good soul in my life.
Fantastic.
Let's just go back. Something I want to ask you. Your dad read cards, and he read just ordinary cards. What was he reading? Where did that come from? Is there a history in the family of that kind of work?
Well, history, I don't know, but interest, definitely. I mean, both sides of the family, like my mother's mother would have been very superstitious. She would have been, if she was alive today and she saw me doing this, definitely she would have been giving me a clap around the ear. but again, it's just misunderstanding. But my dad, I don't know where he picked it up, but again, he used to, like, his party trick was, my friend, actually my next door neighbor, used to come in and say, read my cards. I'm thinking, oh, what is she at? Like, he's only pulling her leg. And he'd be telling her stuff and she'd be looking at me going, how did he know that? Or that kind of thing. And then he was sick. He was sick for decades. But I remember going into Tala Hospital one day, and there was nurses sitting outside the door, and my heart sank. And I went, okay, this is not good. And I walked in, and he was reading cards for one of the nurses, and he said, I'm busy, can you come back? I'm thinking, all right, no bother, but I'm the tarot card reader here. So the interest was always there. And then when I started doing it, like, he was super proud. He was thinking, I can't believe you're actually doing this. I can't believe you are picking up cards. And I'm thinking, well, believe it's fantastic. I love it. Wow. It's such a skill. And like, everyone can do it, but it's just with how much conviction you stand by what it is you're doing and the learning that you have, because there's a myriad of meanings for all the cards.
Is there?
Yeah. And again, the experience that you have, you're always learning. And that's why I love the likes of Instagram and TikTok and all that. And there are a lot of young readers on Instagram who, they're just a different style of reader. They have a different, for example, you have intuitive readers, and then you have hardcore by the book readers, and then you have people in the middle. Then you have people who use kind of, they write it with the cards and all that. I'm kind of in the middle. I've learned a lot, I've studied a lot, but I also let my intuition guide me a lot as well. So if I pull a card for you and I say, oh, you need to, be reflective before you make a decision, or you need to, not take too long to do it. And I could pull the same card for the other Matt, and I could be telling him, no, you need to stop and observe, or you need to look at your path, or look at what the options are available to you. So while one is telling you that the options are already there, it's telling the other to look for the options. So it's about, and then it's just like, people ask me, how'd you get your information? I think, I don't know. It's just at that particular time, it is like, there's points in my tarot room where if I'm doing a reading or I'm talking, you probably notice it now that I'm looking there and I'm looking there. It's just to get the flow. It's like, I feel someone gives me the information. So when I look away, or I feel something's in the corner or something, and I'm not a medium by any stretch of the imagination, but I do know energy is all around us. And I know that when we need something and we've put the intention out there and it comes from a pure place, that they will respond positively. As long as you're doing everything right and it's coming from a place of, this is for my best interest,
right,
they're going to respond to you in a positive way. So
wasn't it back? I don't know. Was it runes that they used to use? But didn't they used to throw sticks on the ground? They could read sticks back in the day.
Casting. I love casting.
Yeah,
and it's something I find. Not that I find it difficult, but it's something that I would love to do. I just find it difficult to record it. And my brother got me a set of rune stones for Christmas.
I have rune stones.
Oh, I love them. And I haven't used them yet. And then I wanted to deviate a little bit. I wanted to show people that with intention, you can actually cast with anything. And I went around my house, my mother's house, and I found all these random objects, and I put them in a tin, and I just threw them out. And then I just set the intention, just whatever comes to me while I'm doing this. And I surprised myself, and I'm thinking, wow. So I love casting. I want to get more into it. But again, that ADHD brain, kind of, I need to pick and focus and stop being so scatty with things.
And where do you think the information comes from? Do you just think it comes from source? Are you guide? Do you have guides? Are you still connected to your dad? Is he still part of your journey?
Yeah. I think, well, my dad passed suddenly in 2010.
Right.
And it's funny because grief hit differently. I'm a great believer, basic law of physics, energy can't be created or destroyed.
It can only be transformed or transmuted.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
me too.
While the physical body wasn't there, I definitely know he's still around, because first of all, he just wouldn't like people getting on without him being around. He'd have to be involved in some way. So when it came to working with spirit, working with guides, I had him right up there. Saying, okay, now over to you. You're in a position to help me like I've never been helped before when it comes to interpretation, openness, connection, meaning and value when it comes to what I'm saying. I'm not even though I've done it, but I'm not a kind of a fairground attraction. I want to be serious. And so I put a lot of faith in him, and plus my grandparents and my uncle who passed as well. So I do tend to, I like how those who have gone before us can help us now. And I think we need to put more emphasis on that. Like they're gone in body, but not in spirit or energy. They're still there.
My dad passed in January. So he was 3 months gone the other day. And I've never spoken to him, as I was very, very close to him, and I helped him through the dying process. But I've never been so close to him. I've never spoke to him as much as I do now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he pops up everywhere.
Yeah.
I was on a satsang yesterday with our teachers now, and we were doing some work, and the guy that was leading it, Tommy Ellis, amazing human being, he was speaking, and all I could hear in the background was Robbins just tweet. And isn't there many signs out there once you just open up to see it?
That is the key factor as well. Like, and I say this a lot in my readings, whatever it is you perceive to be a sign will be a sign. Stop questioning it.
Oh.
You know?
I want a better sign. Like, there's a big billboard.
I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah. Can you just give me a better sign? Not so sure about that one. Give us a different one.
I want another one.
I want another one. Yeah.
And I remember doing a reading for a lady. I can't remember where she was, but I think she was in Arizona or somewhere. And I said to her, I don't normally go with I don't conform to things, but I do feel that you'll see a robin. And she goes, well, it's very interesting that you say this. I think it's Arizona if I'm wrong. She said, but there's no robins here. And I went, well, it doesn't have to be a physical thing. She goes, oh, I'll keep it in mind. And I could see she was a little bit dubious. I'm thinking, oh God, I'm losing her now. And about 4 weeks later, she sends me a message on Instagram. She says, you will never believe it. She said, I got a card from a friend, and on the front of the card are 2 robins. I'm thinking, there you go.
Ah, brilliant. Phew.
Yeah.
I'm not a fake. I'm not just making this up.
And that's the other thing. I'm glad you brought that up, because imposter syndrome is wild. It's wild within our community. It's wild within the holistic people, because we deal with a lot of, now I have to be very honest. I rarely, in all the years I'm doing this, I've rarely had a bad experience, like where I've had to stop or say, this is not for me, I can't connect to you. I think in all the readings I've done, I think I've only done that 2 or 3 times. And to be honest, probably one of those I was hungover and I shouldn't have been doing it anyway. But the imposter syndrome, that sense of, Jesus, what am I doing here? While I'm sitting at the table, looking at the 60 or 70 decks around me, thinking, am I now just repeating things that I've said before? Or is this becoming a little less? And then in my head, I'm thinking, okay, now it's time to get nervous again. It's time to take that step back, be a little bit more objective about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and just meditate, connect, use your skills that you have in a very beneficial way. Like, I'm very grateful to have learned Reiki. I don't practice it on anyone else. I practice it on myself and the cat. I'm very grateful that I did mediumship courses. I did mindfulness courses. I did psychic development courses.
They're all the same thing.
All the same thing. It's all about tapping in and just realizing that there's help there that we cannot see. We just need to believe it and put the intention out there that I'm going to ask for this, and if it's in my best interest, it's going to happen for me. And this is where the cards come in then as well.
Like, here's the thing, John. We're so addicted and we're just so pre-programmed to the 3-dimensional world, length, breadth, height.
Yeah.
And like, this work that you do and the work I'm interested in doing is looking beyond the 4th to 5th to 6th, and up we go.
Yeah.
But people are just length, breadth, height, and it's just it's hard to get past that. And that's our human experience too, and we're trying to break from that. The
There's a lot of Doubting Thomases.
How is that received in your world?
Well, as I tell people, there's a couple of things that pop up. I tell people, number one, I'm not here to convince you. If you don't believe in this, that's on you.
I love it.
Number two, I'll do a reading for you. You don't have to validate. You don't have to say anything. You can give me as much or as little information as you want, because I'm going to say what I'm going to say one way or another. And number three, by the end of it, I guarantee you, you're going to be thinking differently. Yeah. And even if it's just, okay, well, I should have had more open mind, or maybe I'll do this again with an open mind, but you will shift your way of thinking. You
said you're in the corporate world. What work do you do? Without revealing the company, what do you do?
I'm a customer care manager for the Irish branch of a multinational.
What's that like in the office? What do people know what you do?
Well, a few of them do. Well, I'm sure all of them do at this stage. My mug is all over the internet these days. but they respect it. No one's ever said anything negative to me. They've never, you know, if I'm in a meeting and I don't know what I'm doing, no one has said, take out your cards. You know? I've expected it. But
Yeah,
no one has
that's
said
the Irish humor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should you not know the future? Do people think you know the future?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll be going, no, ask it. No, it's like two separate worlds. It's, they do not intertwine at all, even though a lot of people from work, like I can see reading me stories and watching me stories. So, you know, you could like and share if you want, but it doesn't bother me at all. It used to bother me at the beginning. But that was more of a confidence thing. Again, like when you hit 40, you kind of don't care.
Right.
And like I've worked in this particular company for 24 years. So it's not like they don't know me or what I do or that kind of thing. But it's grand. I've never had any issues. No. I have more issues with my brother, who loves it. Very intuitive, very clever, very, very open. But like, we just move in different circles. Like, we're twins. He PhD in music. He has a master's in composition. He just had worked with a friend of his. He arranged all her music, Easter People, if people are looking for it, from Greg Namana. And like, he is more background rather than foreground. So when it comes to, he doesn't like being in the spotlight. He doesn't like people, you know, putting accolades on him or anything like that. Now, not that I'm a big fan of the spotlight either, but like, you know, sometimes you have to stand up and take a bow, or you have to stand up and say, look at all the work that I've done, or look what I can do. But some of his friends, he's got really lovely friends, but like he'd be saying, oh, would you just, like, you know, don't bring up tarot or stuff like that if you're out tonight. And like, all I hear is talk about tarot all night. So, you know,
love it.
He's been cut out a few times with that, but he's so intuitive.
But what you're telling me is he does music, you know, he's very, very creative.
Yeah.
The stuff that you do are same side, it's right side of brains, you know, it's that's the access to this realm, you know. A lot of logical people find it hard. Left side of brain find it hard to dip over, don't they?
Absolutely. He's so gifted when it comes to harmonies, music, putting something together.
That's intuition.
It's amazing. He's amazing. Like he composed. He was asked to compose something for St. Patrick's College of Maynooth, 250 years of St. Patrick's. And he did a Christmas carol. Oh my God, it was like something, like all those angelic chords. It was, I was transported. And I'm so proud of him, but I feel that he doesn't, like, he just goes, done, next. So like, it's all very practical, logical, intellectual. I don't feel that he enjoys it as much as other people do. And
if you break it down, what he's actually doing, he's working with frequency.
Oh, yeah.
He's working with vibration. Yeah. He's working with the realms.
He's more connected. As I keep telling him, he's more connected than me.
Through sound, like sound is frequency, sound is energy. Everything's energy, and he's tapping into that.
Yeah.
Touching on some of the success that you've had, could you share with some of the experience that you've helped people navigate through? You know, like what have you worked with?
I have worked with some of the big things are people and career, and making big changes. One that comes to mind is there is a guy who lives in Europe, but he's English and he lives in Europe, and he wanted to make some big decisions about selling his business and taking on something else. But that element of kind of anticipation that it was going to work out, and that small little bit of anxiety that, is it the right time? Am I going to get the right money? To be honest, and that puts me, like, I could feel the sweat rolling down the back of my neck thinking, okay, well, let's just see what the cards say. So I told him that, you know, the options that the cards were giving is that, you know, trust your intuition and do it now. Stick to your timing. And then what you need to fall into place will fall into place after that. And he was going, oh yeah, but I don't know. I said, well, allow your intuition to guide. Look at your situation, allow your intuition to guide, make your decision, stick to your timeline. And he did. And he came back to me. He said, if I had left it another couple of months, I would not have got the money that I made from this. And now he's a regular. I read from him all the time. But like, that's something big. But even small things like, there was an actress that I did. Did you hear me now, Mia, with no ego? There's an actress I read. But
I know you're fucking name dropping.
Oh,
you were nervous 25 minutes ago. Now you're just dropping names.
Welcome to John's podcast.
Yeah.
But there was an actress, and she didn't know whether to keep her SAG membership in the US.
What's a SAG?
Stage Actors Guild.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the
And
fuck?
if I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah.
She wasn't sure. She's an English actress. She wasn't sure whether to keep her SAG thing. And I said, oh, definitely do it. It's worth the money. And then she sent me a message, and she was cast in a really prominent program over there. Funnily enough, it was English first before it was American, and then she got a part in it. So yeah,
wow.
fantastic.
And I was only telling my girlfriend and her ma yesterday that I was doing this podcast with you, and I was just looking for your page just to show them, and the message that you had yesterday about it was around fortune and stuff.
Oh, the Wheel of Fortune.
The Wheel of Fortune, because
yeah.
me and my girlfriend were talking about how we're going to move things on, and I was like, this shit is just going to happen. We're not going to have to do anything too much. It's going to come to us. And she's the same. We're both like, we're believers in the spirit and the energy, you know, we're godlike. And I showed her your message. She said, that's so on point, isn't it? And that's what, if you want, and if you're looking for the messages, good, bad, or indifferent, it's there. Because if you're looking for drama and you're looking for trouble, you get it.
Yeah.
It just depends where you want to tune put your focus on.
I get that a lot with people. I get a lot of messages on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. People saying, like, you put this up for everybody, for the world to see. Why does it resonate with me?
Ooh.
And I'm thinking, okay, well, the universe, I've just put it up there. It's the universe who sent it to you. So, you know, it could be Matt putting it up, but the universe is going to bring it to you if it's something that will resonate and benefit you.
It's a great skeptical question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is it for me? Why is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I used to trip myself up thinking, oh, I don't know. And it's fluke. Look, no, it's not. It's the universe. It's serendipity, law of attraction, what you're putting out, what you've sent out frequency wise. The universe is now responding by sending my message your way. So which brings me to the other thing, like people say, well, how do you know what card to pull? It's easy. I'll just shuffle the deck and pull a card. That's it. Yeah. And the intention is that, you know, whoever needs to see this message will see it and they will take something from it. So
you spoke about manifestation, you spoke about frequency. Are you a believer in resonance? What you put out that comes back. And I had an experience the other day. I was feeling a little bit leaving the house, and self-doubt. And I got out of the van and somebody came along, there's Mr. Such. I won't even repeat what they said. They were and I was like, well, if you spot it, you got it. Nothing on what they said, nothing on my response, but it was just so reflective of the space I was in my brain.
Yeah.
He was resonance. He was mirroring back to me. This is the way you are today. I'll just show you that. Because I think it's the mirror principle, isn't it? If you smile at the mirror will smile back at you. And this is what the universe and life does for you.
I'm a great believer in that, 100%. I think this falls in with the sense of, you know, your thoughts need to be thoughtful, or you need to have thoughtful approach to your thinking process, to what you're doing. And again, the more conviction you have about something, the more you can envelop the feeling of accomplishment or that feeling of success. Well, then why wouldn't the universe respond? Now, we can't take away from free will. You know, we all have free will. And again, that inner saboteur, self-doubt. I know my life could be totally different if I had taken many chances, but or taken opportunities that have popped up over the last 20 years, but the timing wasn't right. And I felt that the older I'm getting, the more I'm kind of embracing, it's like I'm doing a 180. I'm not big fussed on money or bonuses or whatever. As long as I get from A to B in a car and have enough money to pay mortgage, rent, whatever, I'm happy. Whereas before, like, I needed to have X amount of money in my wallet, or I needed to have X amount of money in the bank. Now, granted, I'm a good spender, so it never was there for long, but I just needed to, like, and that was proof, okay, well, the universe telling me I can keep doing this. And I remember I think it was on my 30th, just before my 30th birthday. And I remember thinking, you know, I'm really going to put the universe to the test here. Working full time. I said, I want to make €1,000 in 2 weeks doing readings. And I said, I don't care if I have to stay up all night doing them. I remember thinking, no, that's exactly what I want. And I remember I'm thinking, first of all, my phone started blowing up because it was either, I don't know, it was Lorna or someone or Caroline that had given me name to someone. And then I started getting all these messages. Can you do this? Can you do it on the phone? I can only do it on the phone. And I remember after the 2 weeks, I said to myself, I don't know whether you can swear on this podcast.
You can.
I said to myself, oh, for fuck's sake. I said, you need to be careful of what you're doing, because you're putting out that frequency. The universe is saying, here, like, what do you want? And I remember counting the money. I put it all aside, and it was €9,995. I'm thinking, okay. I said, well, I couldn't even match 1,000, and then I found a fiver on the floor.
Ah, fucking brilliant!
I'm
Yup.
thinking, okay, I need to pay more attention to this, and that in itself, I mean, that's not a massive thing. There's loads of people who do that, but like I've worked with coaches, and they keep telling me, what's the magic number when it comes to you quitting your corporate job? Sorry, work, but quitting your corporate job to embrace this full time. What's your magic number? And I keep changing it, and they keep saying you can't do that. So you need to set the frequency of what it is you want, and then live that, and then you can change it once that comes, or you can build on that. But you need to stick to something, and I'm not a great sticker to things.
Like here's the thing, and I've said this, and me and Gary were only talking about this morning. We were getting into heartfelt stuff. All of it. My devotion is to love. Love. Horses' devotion to love. And this morning we were having a chat about something, and I just said to her, be careful what you ask for. And she was like, if you want love, this is the price that you'll pay for it. And if you want your 1,000, I'm looking to get 1,000 so I can pay Matt and Stefan behind the camera. So if anyone wants to sponsor this podcast, give me €1,000, because these lads do amazing work, and they've been doing this free $99 for me. So I'm putting it out to the universe. Yeah, they've been fucking good to me. So I need the universe, to pay back.
Then.
Yeah, I need sponsorship. So will you talk to the guys and tell them?
Well, will we take out the cards and have a look?
Will we give that a go now?
Let's give it a go.
Let's give that a go. Yeah, we do. Yeah, no, these lads have been unbelievably kind to me. So I need sponsorship. So give me some dollars.
Well, Matt, I said to myself,
and I also need a house for me and my missus.
I couldn't. Okay, well, we'll have a look at that too. I couldn't come on here, and I said, do you know what? Maybe we might have a new tarot card reader here, so I have a little present for you.
John, I'm not blowing smoke up your hole. You were sitting there going, I was thinking, I think I'd love to do tarot cards.
There you go.
Yup, the flats.
That's a lovely little deck, the light seers.
And is she ginger, by the way?
She can be whatever you want.
She's ginger. That's deadly. Check that out. Matt, we're going to get sponsorship. We're going Gucci on this podcast.
So let's have a look and see now. Do you know what? I know there are other readers, but I'm not big on. I don't feel it's necessary. I read online. I don't feel it's necessary for people to shuffle or touch the cards. But seeing as we're here, Matt, I'm going to ask you to shuffle the cards and just think about, your intention, what it is you want, how you're going to get what you want. Well, we're not going to worry about the how, but just the intention. Okay, thank you. Now cut the deck in two for me. I'm making this all mystical. I don't have to, but cut the deck in two. Which one are you most drawn to? Okay. So let's have a look and see. So we're going to look at sponsorship for Magic Minds podcast. If you're not in it, you should be. Okay, so Matt, straight off I can see that there are two ladies who play a massive role in your life when it comes to emotional connection, what they bring, keep you grounded, and then one about success, business, focus, encouragement, success. And I do feel that how you interact with both of these plays a massive part in your perspective and what you want. I'm going to tell you, simple as Six of Pentacles is telling me that what you are giving out to the world is coming back to you. So the sponsorship you're looking for is coming. Nine of Cups is the wish card, and it's telling me, it comes with a few little, caveats. The first is be careful what you wish for, because it just might happen. The second is everything in moderation, so you can have it for as long as possible. And the third thing is enjoy it. Enjoy success. Enjoy being successful. Enjoy everything that comes your way. You asked about a house. Four of Wands is literally celebration on movement, or celebrating a movement. It's always, a new stage to perform the next act of your life, or new people coming into your life when it comes to success. But again, this is about enjoying the celebration attached to success, enjoying the energy that comes with it. But I like this one for you. Oh, and then you've got the Nine of Wands. So making a decision, standing by it, and kind of, well, people say getting your ducks in a row. I think more, overcoming all the small obstacles, and then you get to do your victory lap. So where you are right now, the double nine is telling me you're almost at achieving your goal. You're almost there. The next one would be the 10. Oh, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, 10. So
that's the card that came out on yesterday. Yeah.
So what you're putting out there, the Wheel of Fortune is saying, Wheel of Fortune runs on karma as well, just like, and I got that nugget from Tarot by Louise Rod. this morning. Her card for the week was also the Wheel of Fortune, and her interpretation of it was fantastic. It's on the Buddhist witches, but it is karma led. So what we put out and how we do it comes back. So success has come. The double 9 to the 10 is completion, but I do feel there's luck attached here too. So again, it's about the right people coming into your life at the right time and what they can bring. So I think you've got a nice little couple of months in store now to September, August time, and then we see the 10 for October moving on there. So you've got a nice little few things coming up. I can change the narrative just a little bit if I may. With the ladies in your life,
this is fascinating.
I feel that the energy is really good. The Queen of Cups is someone who rules her life the way she wants. She's fantastic. She's good in authority, but she rules with compassion, empathy, sympathy, encouragement, and she uses life experience to propel herself forward. I feel that this is your partner, and I feel that there's a nice little bit of inspirational creativity brewing about what the next step for her might be or how she might attract it. But I am going to tell her success, the 9. The 9 of Pentacles is telling her success is coming in a really good way, that she is manifesting what she's putting out there. She's not doing it with the help of others. She doesn't need a man to do it for her. This is a soul journey for her, as in, like, she's the only person doing that. So she's going to manifest her own success.
Yeah, she's powerful.
And she's going to celebrate it too. But I feel that her value, when she reflects on what it is she's doing, I think she needs to reflect on the value that she's bringing to something. So her worth. And maybe, if she deals in packages or pricing, that she reassesses that too. For the other lady, I'm not sure who this is. It could be your mother. It could be someone who has a strong influence on you when it comes to the perspective that they showed you, that, like, Matt, if you do this, your life can go in this direction. They're also the person who encourages you that you are the master of your own destiny. You have all the tools you need, including intellect, to manifest anything that you're looking for. So when it comes to, the house for you and your partner, the not donation, sponsorship that you're looking for here, you are the one that's going to bring it. But it's about listening to someone else's perspective or their way of doing something. And I feel that looking at every opportunity and running with every opportunity will lead to maybe many sponsors or many things coming in. But I just feel that for you, whatever it is you want, you're going to create yourself, because there's been a switch here. If I just move, like, the way you look at your life now is different from the way you looked at it 10 years ago.
100%.
And I feel that, unfortunately, you had to go through what you went through in order to get where you are today.
100%.
This guy is telling you that not only do you have clarity of mind, but your intellect is sharper now than it was 10 years ago. And you have the ability to see an opportunity for success, but you also have the courage to stand with it as well. You're not afraid to ask for help now. So it's important about using your network in a very good way and allowing things, like, not to question why things are happening the way they are, but to say, well, how is this benefiting me, or what's my input, or how can I, create this kind of successful avenue or moment that's coming up. So yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, it's all good.
See those cards that you just pulled there?
Yeah.
And somebody's listening to this and seeing this. Can there be messages within that for people?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If
like, sometimes we hear stories about someone else, but in that story, like this, and this is the way I call the podcast, Stories Have the Power to Inspire. Magic Mind, Stories Have the Power to Inspire. Anything that happens in this can be inspirational within your life, can be used, you said earlier.
Absolutely. In general, if I was kind of reading, well, we'll take these out, I'll leave those. If I was reading these for the collective, I would say that, perspective is an important tool, and sometimes it can make us uncomfortable, but it shouldn't make us so uncomfortable where we can't ask for help, because by asking for help makes us successful, because it gives us someone else's perspective that we can look through and say, can I do this myself? Or if anything, it just gives you a vantage point to look at your life from another perspective. So it's all about assessing your talents and what you have. People underestimate themselves so much. I mean, I see it every day with the people I read for. If people knew how powerful they actually were when it comes to, manifesting what they want, aligning with their goals, the frequency of the universe. Some people are so close and they feel like they're miles away, and they're not at all.
Isn't there that picture of the diamond mind? Somebody going looking for the diamonds, and he's an inch away from the oak, and he's leaving, and somebody's coming along, and they crack into it. Like, we're only ever like a veil. There's only a veil between us and success, and it's already there.
That's the thing. I mean, people sometimes are too hard on themselves as well. So I remember watching something from you talking about who's your worst critic. I'm my worst critic, and I think people, like, we have no problem standing up to ourselves saying, no, you're not doing that, or no, you have to stick to this diet, or no, you have to relax, be kind to yourself. Don't torture yourself. The world is doing that right now. Be kind to yourself. The more kindness you show to yourself, the more your empathic side will take over. So before you make a decision, to not help someone, or like, you're going to say, well, what if it was me? And I put a simple thing out there. I don't really have a big value on money. I like it and I like spending it, but like, I don't deny myself anything, is what I'm trying to say. But I remember being out on a night out and it was freezing. I mean, it was Baltic. It was sometime, I'm going to say it was probably around 2010 when we had that massive big freeze and all that. But anyway, I was in town and I was walking through with my friends, and there was a homeless guy. And he was about 18 or 19. And I was scuttered. I'm going to be quite honest. I was locked. And I said, Jesus Christ, how he's so young to be out on the street. So I went over to my friends and going, oh no, come on, we're getting a taxi. I was going, no, you can't leave him like that. So I said, what do you need? And he said, I need money. He said, it's probably too late. I'm not going to get anywhere to stay, but I'm going to need money for somewhere tomorrow night and what to do. I put my hand in my pocket. I had €50 and a tenner. I said, fuck it. So I gave him the €60. I said, I hope that gets you something. I said, but first of all, I said, you need to get something warm. And I remember my friends were looking at me going, what are you doing? That's a lot of money. And I'm thinking, in my head, I was thinking, that's just one reading, or I'll get that back tomorrow, So, and it's that kind of attitude that we put out there. Fast forward to about the summer. And I remember I was in town, I was at something else, couldn't get a taxi home. Again, no one does last better than me. And I remember thinking, Jesus, if I could just, my cousin's a taxi driver, if I could, of course, phone dead. I said, if I could just see someone maybe that I know, I'm standing here. Next thing I can see is Prius coming up. Or I don't know if he was driving a Prius at the time. And I remember just standing out in front of the road, standing out going, Eddie, will you bring me home? And I lived in Racool, so it was taking him all the way out of the way. I said, I'll pay you. And he said, no problem. So I went he said, but you're going to have to get off the rank because, these people will lynch you. So I went back, heading up towards Dame Street. He came up, I jumped in, he brought me home. And I'm thinking, that's the universe looking out for me because I was looking out for someone else.
It's resonance, isn't it? Just like, my 2 days after my dad passed, I was going to a garage in Talla, and I was a homeless guy sitting outside, pissing rain, freezing. I couldn't look at him. He was in so much pain. I was in so much pain. I denied him and I looked away. What I was really doing was looking away from myself. I went in and I came back out and I was like, just look at him. Just fucking look at him. I looked and he caught me eye and I sat down and we chatted and we shared some moments and I got back in there. I felt so much better.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I mean, we should, when we see people in need, we shouldn't be afraid of them. If anything, we should just offer an ear, offer a shoulder. They're not looking for anything from you. They just, 9 times out of 10, they want to get something off their chest, or they just want someone. Their content is us recognizing them, just seeing them and acknowledging that, these are people and they need help. So if I can, I will.
And we can recognize, as we said earlier, resonance, that's us, they're us. It's all kind of mirrors,
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love the fact that you make the cards about them and it's not about you.
Oh, absolutely not about me at all. And that's why I don't speak in my videos.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Lorna shared a story about you creating a video at first. Did you have difficulty at first making videos?
I did, and it was my brother who he pressed record, but the video was on him, so he turned around really quick, and I was talking. I'm thinking, no, I don't like this at all. So I remember thinking, okay, how can I make it more about the message of the card? I went, well, shut your mouth. Like, no one wants to hear you talking, John. They want to see the message. Now, I get a lot of people saying, "Oh, we want to hear your voice." And I'm thinking, trust me, you don't. But I think
you do. I like your delivery. Yeah, I like it. It's very good.
It's about the on Instagram. It's about the message. It's about, you know, you can see my face. You can see, but I block my face out with the card, so people are focusing solely on the card, because that behind that, I'm setting the intention that those who need to see this will see it.
Yeah.
So that's why, and I've done it for years now where I don't speak. So yeah, who knows? I might break tradition. And
yeah, no, because I looked at you at the start of this podcast. As soon as you took out the cards and start reading, you turned on.
My family said that at Christmas.
You turn on.
Yeah.
Like, gone. You're out of the body.
Oh,
You've left.
Yeah. And
I could see that very, very clearly.
Cars. And at Christmas, we were, my mom, we like having a full house at Christmas. And we had a few people, a couple of my cousins were there. And my brother turned around and said, bring out the cars. And I normally don't, but I wasn't drinking. So I said, right, I will. And like that, my cousin said, you know, she literally just saw, like, where did John go? And Tarot by John is sitting in front of us now. The vernacular, the tone, everything changed, and I was in reading mode. Yeah. Or message delivery mode, as I call it. Yeah.
Does tragedy, the death of a family member, you know, hardships, does that open the door to this to get people into you? Does it make it easier? Do people become a bit more susceptible to you, to this work? You know, because a lot of people are dealing with the lower energies, the third and second energy center, and they're skeptic and they're resistant to it. But when death or tragedy comes in, it seems to open it a bit more.
Yeah.
Do you find that?
I do. I find that a lot. I also find people who, they crave are they still there? And are they happy? And I'm thinking, well, you don't have to come to me for me to tell you that. I'll read the cards, and, you know, the cards will be very good. They'll empathize and sympathize with you in a way that will give you the message that you will like to hear. But when it comes to acknowledging, are they happy? Are they around me? Like, all you have to do is close your eyes. And feel it. Again, when my own father passed in 2010, like, I felt and I'm not going to say we were close, but we weren't not close either. Like, we just had we had a different relationship. Me and my brother were the oddest children on the face of the earth. So, you know, he did very well with the two of us. But we always had our needs met, all that it was good. But when he died, I just thought, okay, like, he's gone, like, the body's gone, but, like, he's still here. And I remember trying to explain that to, you know, my mother, who was distraught, my brother, who, you know, gone, like, it's the anxiety around death as well when it's sudden. Now, every time my phone rang after that, I thought my mother was after having a heart attack and she was gone. Like, my father died watching the telly. My mother, we have two sitting rooms, one at the top of the house, one at the bottom of the house, and the house is, like, really long. She was watching her telly down there, he was watching telly up here. She got up to make sandwiches. She made the sandwiches, made tea, went over, put his hand on him, and he was dead. Like, she had been calling them, but, like, they were kind of deaf anyway. So, you know, that's the way he would want it to go, and he wouldn't want to have been lingering and all that. So, and that was at 10 o'clock at night. I remember getting the call and drove down. I was living in Racool, drove down, walking in, saw him. I'm thinking, oh yeah, he's actually dead. Because I don't know why I doubted it, but I said he's actually dead. I remember just saying to myself, I said, okay, well, now it's your time to start work. Now you can work for us. And my brother's looking at me saying, what are you talking about? I said, no, nah, he's on the other side now. Things are going to change. And they did. Like, we became, like, I'm an introvert by nature, but there's an extrovert side to me as well.
Of course.
And my brother is also an introvert. And I just remember, like, a couple of months after the funeral, just that surge of confidence coming, particularly when I went back to reading. And I used to work with a medium. Carol is her name. She was fantastic. And I remember thinking, she asked me, I can do a reading for you. I went, no, I don't need you to, because I know he's here. I know he's guiding me. I know he's everything I put my hand on when it comes to anything kind of esoteric or tarot or holistic. He is there because he had an interest in it. So, you know. And when it comes to people then who've lost loved ones coming to me, that's what I try and emphasize. Meditate, listen to the music they listen to, read their books, watch their programs, because when you're doing that kind of thing, they're there with you. Now, unfortunately, my father had very poor taste in music. No disrespect to Margot, but she was his number one. So again, she was on, I was watching something and she was on Reeling in the Ears. I'm thinking, you know what, thanks for letting me know you're still there.
Wow. As I said, my dad passed over in January, and we were very, very close. And I remember people saying to me around the funeral, it's okay to fall apart. It's okay, blah, blah. I was like, what? My dad went through cancer for 13 years. I'm not fucking falling apart now.
Yeah.
It was like he handed me the baton, just like you.
Yeah.
And my devotion for love. This was an opportunity to deepen like I said to my daughter and my family, we're going to do this differently. We're gonna ride through this with love.
Yeah.
I know it's painful, but we're gonna just stick with love. We're gonna stick together. I'm gonna batten down the hatches. No one's getting in if you don't have a love past.
Yeah.
And we done it different because that's what my dad done. And now I'm doing this work. I feel more empowered. Like, was my dad's that hard? Yeah. But was it a gift? Did I learn so much from it? Did I grow from it? Absolutely. Just like you did. We can turn pain into we can turn it into gold. We can use passion.
Yeah, desire, that sense of, they can help me achieve my goals in a way that I would struggle. So energetically putting that out there to allow them, to take over. I don't know if I'm using the right words, and I'm sure people will correct me, but that they can take your intention out to the universe, bring it further. They're already in that kind of atmosphere, that energetic field that they can see more than we can. So I'll ask them to guide us.
And I ask him all the time, talk me through this. What do you think? I'm going to bounce. And I can hear him say, don't go fucking anywhere.
Yeah.
If I want to do something that mightn't be in line with my values, he's like, no, don't go that way. I'm telling you not
sure
to go.
My father's probably thinking, I wish he'd get laryngitis.
Wish he'd shut up.
Or wish he'd take a sleeping tablet or something.
Come here. If someone wants to get into learning how to do tarot cards, if they want to, you talked at the start of this podcast about you studied all the books, you read, you done that. What way would you guide people in it? Do you offer training even?
I probably should, but I don't.
You will.
But I
will in future.
I will eventually get into teaching it. I feel that there are great teachers out there. If anyone is interested in learning tarot, I can put them in touch with great teachers. But I think, again, it's those who don't promote themselves in that kind of way and do it very subtly. They're kind of the best teachers. The ones who, sorry, my cat's here. The one who, they do things. And there's really good readers that I see on Instagram. I'm connected with them on Instagram. I've talked to them, I've spoken to them, and like they're in the US, but I wouldn't let that put you off. There's some. If people are interested, send me a message. I'll connect you with the right person to do it. But
is there videos and books, or
exactly,
is there?
There's online media, there's digital courses, there's check-ins where you kind of do a demonstration with all your peers. And I remember doing a psychic development course with a lady called Elaine Rowley in Cabra. And I remember, it was fantastic. It was great. The people on it were fantastic. It was so diverse. It was brilliant. But I remember the last thing she said, "No, we're going to read for each other." I went, "Sorry, what did you say?" "Oh no, we're going to read for each other, and you're going to be blindfolded." And I'm thinking, well, first of all, I thought, "Ooh, not my kink." And I went, "Oh no, I get too claustrophobic. I can't." And she goes, "No, you'd be grand." And I remember me and again Carol, who I met on this course. I remember we were chatting, I was reading, it was fantastic. And next thing I just remember hearing the room go very quiet. And then I realized that people were listening to me. And I thought, no, I'm turning it off. I'm stopping now. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh, I must be doing something right. But that kind of freaked me out a little bit. So
that scare you?
Yeah.
My mentor, Jeff Thompson, says, we're not a fear of failure. We're a fear of being successful.
Yeah.
We're a fear of our own magnificence.
Yeah. And that's true. I do fear success.
Yeah, me too.
I fear that.
Not anymore. I
fear that
we're going to get a sponsorship.
It will hinder me in some way. Sponsor Matt. I feel that it will hinder me in some way where in reality I'm just hindering myself. Like I get so comfortable in my comfort zone that like a crab, I have to shed the old shell every now and again and take a step. But again, since I credit a lot to turning 40. It's like there was a fuck it switch turned on and I can just turn it on and off whenever I want. And I put everything down to, I'm 45 and I'll just do it my way. And I think that's a great way to be. prioritizing yourself and what you want to do. And also when it comes to, something a little bit different, if people are interested in Reiki, tarot, runes, whatever, and people, you're afraid of people raising an eyebrow, fuck them.
Exactly. What I really like about you sitting in your presence, I love your work online, even better sitting with you. You bring a bit of fun to it. It's a bit light. It's not super fucking serious. No. I don't like the work I do. You see stuff online, the talks I do. I try to have a bit of crack. Yeah. There's enough darkness out there.
At the end of the day, it's all about having a bit of fun and enjoying it. I mean, that like tarot in general is entertainment and it's entertaining, and it's about listening to what the reader is saying and how they're marrying the story together. That's part of the art, is taking random cards, but you have to put the story together, and it has to be cohesive and it has to be coherent, and there has to be fluency to it. And that's where a lot of people get anxiety. What if I can't remember? Well, you don't have to remember anything. You're the channel. So that's all. You just have to channel the message that's been given to you, which is fantastic.
Do you ever pick a load of cards and you see it and go, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't know how I'm going to pull this one together?
Yeah.
This is a bit of a shit show.
I remember doing a reading, and I had, where's he gone? I had the Death and Devil. They asked a question. Oh, here, there we go. They asked a question about, will my venture be successful? And I got all these cards. I can't find Death right now, but that's probably not a bad thing. Oh, there he is. And I got all these cards. So we had the Tower, Death, the Devil, and the 10 and 3 of Swords. And I remember thinking, how can I deliver this? So in my head, I went, okay, well, let's just have one more. I said, okay, so Justice, funnily enough. I said, what about timing? I said, do you feel that it's the right time to embark on whatever it is that you're embarking on? I'm going, oh, well, I need to rush this and get this done. I'm thinking, no, waste makes haste, or haste makes waste. I said, because if you don't wait, I said, you're going to end up taking a couple of steps back. Now, in fairness, these two together are like, you're fucked. It's not going to work in a way that you want. It will require you to let go of that ideal that, we shouldn't. What is it that they say? The universe will deliver, but maybe not in the way you thought it would. So we have to let go of how something's going to happen. Or if we don't, it's just going to take longer. And then, there's all these things about moving across, letting it go, and not kind of bogging yourself down with all this baggage and stuff. You have to be lighter in your step. But remember then, I need to be positive here. I said, it can work. I said, but you just have to make sure that you're doing it in the right time. And then he said, that's when he got me. He said, so when is the right time? I'm thinking, oh God, how long is this piece of string? So I turned another card. It wasn't the Empress. It was something like 4 of Wands or something. I said, well, you have to feel happy about initiating the change. You have to feel happy that you're doing it because it's going to enhance your life, not because you feel under pressure to do something.
Okay.
So, so we worked it around like that. But at the end of we're best friends. We're at the end of the day now. It was all, you're a great reader. And I'm thinking, Jesus, keep me posted. And he did keep me posted. And he came back and he said he started 2 things at the same time. The one he thought was going to work collapsed in about 4 months. The one he thought, was only a bit of a side hustle became his main business. Yeah.
Isn't it really, that's fantastic. Isn't it really important that we have to have the energy of the change that we want?
Yeah.
If you're looking for finance.
People underestimate that.
Yeah, you have to feel the feelings of the success that you're hoping for.
Yeah, exactly.
It's important.
Yeah. Very important. And I think, tarot can show you the options and they can show you the perspective. Will never tell you what to do.
No.
And
and like my guides, my leads, my dad, I can make the decision whether I want to go left or right. And people can do what they like with this, but it's a guide. It's like God, the universe. We do have direction in this. There's no this is exactly the way it's going to be. You have no choice. Yeah. We do.
Exactly.
We can listen. Cool. Yeah. What's the one thing you'd like people to take away after listening to this interview?
I would like them to take away that, 1, tarot is not scary. You shouldn't be afraid of it, because if you're afraid of it, it will deliver. So it's going to say, okay, we'll make you more afraid. And 2, have an open mind. Even if you think it's not for you, there's always something that tarot will show you that you didn't think you wanted to know, or you didn't think it was the right time, and it will give you opportunity. It will give you direction, and it may just bring clarity. But what I would say is have an open mind. Don't be afraid. Find a reader that you work with, or that you resonate with. There are tons of people, and there's plenty for everyone. So, we don't have to be grabby about our business or anything like that. Do your research, watch them, talk with them, and if they resonate, But then that's the universe saying, have a reading with them. It doesn't have to be me. It can be someone else. But I am good. No money messing. That's the ego. That's the ego.
You fucking are good. Get up the yard.
You'll know when the person's for you. But don't be afraid of it. That's the big thing I'm going to put out there. Yeah.
You're all over social media. But just remind people, if they want to find you, they want to work with you, want to get a reading, where will they find you? Where will they get you?
The main one is Instagram at Tarot by John. And it just to be aware there are more Tarot by Johns than money grains of sand. So
what's the story? I kept messages from you like, do you want a reading from me? Do you want a reading from me?
Just I have the blue check mark, so my account is verified. So yeah, if you're looking to get me there on Facebook, it's Tarot by John, not verified. And again, it's the page. I have 11,000 followers, so just go by that. And my WhatsApp number is on my Instagram as well. Yeah. So yeah.
And if you want, the universe will just send you.
Exactly. I'll find you.
You just sneak up on
I'll pop up on your timeline.
Yeah. You're like Mystic Meg.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, loved her for years. Back of the News of the World magazine.
Yeah.
Loved her. Couldn't go to school on a Monday without having read me star sign. Yeah.
Oh fuck it. John. Oh man, this was the business.
Loved
it. You are the business.
Thanks.
Like people say to me when they meet me, offline, oh, it's great to meet you in person. I am buzzing that I met you. You're a deadly skin.
Thank you very much.
I
absolutely loved this. It was fantastic. First time. Hopefully it's not my last time now. I'm open for other interviews.
Yeah, then when we get the sponsor, we'll have a double podcast.
Don't worry, I'm working on that.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
Oh man, Matt, that was the business, right? We just need to get sponsorship and just reward these deadly lads for their work. DublinPodcast.ie. Right, so that's a wrap. Please share this with your family and friends. Share John's work, share my work, create more love and kindness in the world. All my podcasts are brought to you obviously by DublinPodcast.ie, Niall Riley from Rooney Media Graphics, the girls from Shannon's Hope Line, anyone else. No, the people from the Liberties, yup the Flats, yup the Tarot Cards. I'm doing readings.
Tarot by Ma.
I'm your competitor now. I got to be slating you online.
So I'll leave you reviews.
Give me a Google review. That's a wrap. Have a whopper day. Don't forget to mind your little self. Bye. Yup the Flats.
Thanks.